What's up, nerds? Welcome to a special edition of the Sarlacc Digest. We're doing a trailer breakdown today for the all-new Now or Never spot that dropped this morning on YouTube. It is regarding Ahsoka, of course. Ahsoka is coming out August 23rd, so the the PR machine is starting to really ramp up for it. Since the actors can't go out and do their usual thing, they're just dropping trailers and stuff. So at what point, though, do you stop watching the trailers because you're afraid it's going to give away too much information? Well, this is not one of those trailers, I'll tell you right now. Not a whole lot of information is given, just a whole lot of really cool visuals. And we're going to break it down. We're going to first play the trailer as a whole, and then we'll double back and we'll actually do some breakdown. Okay, almost a scene by scene, but I'm going to try and keep this around 15 minutes or so, so that way I don't hold you for the usual hour to 2 hours. All right, so without further ado, let's check out this trailer together, and hopefully the audio looks like I've got the audio queued up. And yeah, so let's do this. We're going to watch Now or Never, the new trailer from Ahsoka that dropped this morning about 6 a.m. or so Pacific time. Here we go.
There's so few Jedi left. She's coming.
Our enemies are multiplying. The galaxy is not safe. I could use the help.
It's now or never. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Hunt them down.
This is where it gets interesting.
Get ready. Ready. Ready.
Yes.
Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere August 23rd.
I mean, that's just pure awesome right there. How can you not be freaking excited as hell for that, right? So, all right, let's, now that we've watched it together, hopefully, we didn't get taken down by YouTube just yet, but since I'm not doing this live, I can edit just in case if I need to. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the closed captions, and we are going to, we're going to check this out together. Yeah, make sure I don't hear the sound either. You don't hear the sound. I don't hear the sound. Let's break this down, shall we? So, of course, we're starting off here with Ahsoka igniting her double blades. And where are we? That is the big question we've got here. My thought is, I think it'd be amazing if we were back on the planet Corellia. We haven't seen it since Solo, and this really has that Corellian vibe where they're on what looks like a shipyard. If you look back there behind the Inquisitor, you'll see what looks like engines being assembled. That's pretty cool right there. Has a very Corellian vibe to it, though. All right, moving on. Balon's skull. Now, I know I'm not alone in this, but Ray Stevenson, gone far too soon. I have always loved every character that he's been in, just about everything he's in. I mean, he was a great Punisher. He was one of my favorite things about G.I. Joe Retaliation, his turn as Firefly. I'm so bummed out that we're not going to see him continue on. And I don't know if his character is done by the end of the show. I don't know what the plan is now that he's gone, but man, gone too soon. What a huge loss. Huge loss. Talented dude. So here we go. Let's continue. Ahsoka getting into a fight with a hunter-killer droid right there. I can't wait to see this. The Inquisitor. Now, I remember whenever we first saw pictures of the Inquisitor, we were thinking maybe it's a flashback. Why is there an Inquisitor, 12 years after, the battle of approximately 12 years after the Battle of Yavin? The Inquisitors, you would think, would be gone after the fall of the Empire, but apparently not. So yeah, we've got this lone Inquisitor who is apparently working as a mercenary. Now, I know that, well, I don't know for sure, but all the reports I've read is that Balon and his apprentice Shin are also mercenaries. So are they all three mercenaries working together? Are they separate? They're all red, they're all carrying lightsabers. So who knows? We'll find out pretty soon, though, won't we? Great action scenes. Now, this shot right here, we've got Ahsoka running through the woods. At first, I thought she was being trailed by this person, but now if you look at it and you really think about it, if somebody was following her, chasing her, to be directly behind her, most likely. And they both kind of veer off in slightly different directions right here. So who is running with her? Is it Sabine? I thought maybe she was being chased originally, like I said, by one of the Inquisitor, but no, they're running separately. And again, pausing it, could be wearing a Mandalorian helmet right there. Can't quite tell, but all of these, I love the theory crafting behind all of this. You put together a full video breakdown of a trailer that's 45 seconds long or so, and part of the fun is just seeing what's what, who's who, where are they, when are they, etc. So let's continue. Looks like I think that's Balon and Shin's ship right there approaching whatever planet they're on. That makes no sense. So, of course. Anyway, moving on. Balon being ruthless badass right there with his orange lightsaber. Got Shin looking very suspicious. I'm digging the look of her. I want to know though, is she the new version of Mara Jade? I don't think they're bringing Mara Jade into canon. We've been talking about this being an adaptation of the original Thrawn trilogy. They've been dropping hints by calling him the heir to the Empire, etc., which is just kind of natural. He would, as the highest ranking Imperial officer in the fleet, be the one that takes over the Empire. He would be the natural choice for heir to the Empire. But is there more to it than that? Are we actually seeing an adaptation of the original Thrawn trilogy? It's been something that we've been talking about on the show since 2020. And, it looks like with the inclusion of Mount Tantus in the Bad Batch and Balon possibly taking over the role of Jerus Cyboth, who knows for sure, but that's definitely the way it's kind of going. So let's look at more of the enemies, shall we? We've got Morgan Elsbeth, the magistrate that fought Ahsoka in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now, rumor currently has it, and we usually like to just talk about facts on the show. We don't usually like to speculate about rumor, but whenever you're breaking down a trailer, it's all speculation and rumor. So let's just embrace it. Morgan Elsbeth here is rumored to be a Night Sister, which would be the first time we, of course, got a Night Sister in live action. And I don't know about all of you, but that excites me. I'm excited to see possibly excited to see a Night Sister in live action. So yes, continuing on. Now here we're looking at this galactic map, and that is what it looks like. It looks like a galactic map. You've got what almost appears as I don't know exactly what it is I'm looking at here, but originally we were thinking that maybe this area that they were in was actually a link to the World Beyond Worlds, right? And the World Beyond Worlds was really cool in Rebels. It was, and I know there's a lot of people who panic at the thought of Star Wars going into a multiverse situation, and I don't think any of us on the show really want that to happen either. Multiverses are used in comic books. They're used in the MCU. We don't necessarily need that in Star Wars, right? Although we do have Visions, which is, you could say that Visions is set in a multiversal location, I guess. A different universe from ours. I like to think of Visions as just being, out of time. It's not a different galaxy. It's not an alternate universe. It's just set outside the parameters of what we're used to in Star Wars, either way before or way after what we're used to seeing. All that being said, whenever we saw that, we got the shirt and it had the galactic map on it, and we were all thinking World Between Worlds. Have I been saying beyond? World Between Worlds. Anyway, instead of being in the World Between Worlds, it's a galactic map, it looks like, which is kind of a cool thing. What is this thing that we are seeing? Anyway, moving on. We've got Ahsoka and Balon fighting right there in this galactic map setting. Usually whenever we're seeing trailers for the Disney Plus shows, we're seeing like the first probably about the first 3 episodes worth of content, and I believe there's 8 episodes of Ahsoka coming up. So if they follow suit, everything we're seeing right now is really early on in the series. So we've seen little snippets of this in the past with Balon kind of baiting Ahsoka, talking about Anakin and talking about how Anakin had spoken so highly of Ahsoka, which is, that's really cool. If you want to get under her skin, talk about Anakin a little bit, right? So moving on, we've got Sabine riding a swoop bike through the streets, the highway outside of Lothal, probably heading towards Ezra's home, which we've seen in the trailers in the past. She's also being pursued by an E-Wing fighter, which we saw in the last trailer, but the E-Wing fighter is a great callback to the E-Wing that was in Legends, the old Legends. I was going to say Legends canon, which is, it's an oxymoron, but in the Legends, there used to be the E-Wing fighter, and it was a really cool design for a ship. And it's really nice to actually see that brought back into canon as they slowly but surely start bringing things back into canon, right? Like Heir to the Empire and the Thrawn trilogy. Those are all legends. But as Ahsoka said in Rebels, there's always a little bit of truth in Legends. So let's just keep on bringing these truths back, shall we? Here we go. We've got Ahsoka geared up. She's landed her ship right there. We do believe this is the scene from the postscript in Rebels when we see Sabine looking at the mural. We know they've filmed that in live action. So how cool is that, right? Get a live action. It's now or never, right? And then we get, of course, Hera back in live action, or not back in live action, but we got our debut of Hera in live action. She looks fantastic. I know they pumped up the color in her eyes, which really works. It really adds to that, to the animated look. Because I think the first few shots that we saw of Hera, she didn't have the bright green eyes, but they really pumped up the eye color, which is just awesome. I'm so excited for this show. All right. We have August 23rd. We have our first live action shot from the show of the Ghost. Now, we know we've seen the Ghost before. We saw the Ghost parked on Yavin 4 during Rogue One, just like we saw Chopper in Rogue One, just kind of rolling by doing his thing. We saw the Ghost in action in The Rise of Skywalker. At least we think that was the Ghost because, it was a Ghost-like ship. It was the VCX 1000, I believe it is, the Corellian light freighter. We all assume it was the Ghost. We hope it was the Ghost. We know they didn't make just one of that particular brand of ship, but I really don't want Star Wars to also go down the Star Trek area where, they blow up an Enterprise, they just give them a new one and slap a letter on there and call it a day, right? So hopefully this is, what we see in The Rise of Skywalker isn't the Ghost Mark A or B or whatever. Hopefully it's just the Ghost, right? And we also see the Phantom 2 on the back of the ship right there. That is really cool. And looks like they're following Ahsoka's starfighter. So moving on. Balon barking orders to his hunter-killer droids and a few other what looks like mercenaries. I would say they're ex Imperial mercenaries right there. They kind of have an Imperial look to their uniforms. But anyway, hunt them down. We have, again, I think this is a bit of a trick right here. We've got a shot of the Inquisitor igniting his double-bladed lightsaber, followed by Shin igniting hers. I think that's just a trick. They're trying to give us a bit of a bait and switch here. I do believe that is Ahsoka to the left of the screen right there. We're just getting a different angle, followed by Shin and her lightsaber. We've got Professor Huan. I can't say his name, so I'm not even going to try. Clone Wars droid that helped all the younglings build their lightsabers and acquire their kyber crystals. Awesome again, seeing another callback to the Clone Wars coming back into live action Star Wars. I want to see this continue. I want to see a Captain Rex. I just give it all to me now. Okay. Just don't hold anything back. Just throw it all my way. That'd be great. But I do want Hondo Anaka, please. If anybody's listening, we need a live action Hondo. All right. They're all getting ready. Ready. Chopper saying ready is freaking amazing. Let's see. I can't quite get it stopped on the right. There we go. So we've got my favorite sociopathic droid right there. Chopper saying ready. It's the first time we actually hear him speak in live action. Awesome. Anyway, moving on. More lightsaber action between the rebels. We've got, it looks like Ahsoka's ship pulling up next to, that is definitely not a, it's not a Star Destroyer. It's not the Ghost. I want to say that's probably one of the New Republic's ships. It doesn't look like an Imperial light freighter. Could be a blockade. It's not a blockade runner either. No, it's definitely a, I want to say a New Republic ship. We've seen little bits and pieces of Hera standing around the holographic table in Home One. So maybe this is Home One. Who knows? Moving on, we've got a lot of shots right here of Sabine versus Shin. And I know we saw that in the last trailer as well, but I just watched Trials of the Darksaber plus the episode where Sabine goes back and tries to take the Darksaber to her mother. And, Sabine ends up losing the Darksaber, but then uses Ezra's lightsaber to win it back. And going through those episodes recently, yesterday, and hearing Kanan say, everybody has the Force. It's just whether or not they're in tune with it and they can hear it. It was that a early nod that perhaps Sabine could access the Force if she was just open to it. Kind of goes against the whole midichlorian thing. I mean, everybody has midichlorians apparently, and everybody is attuned to the Force in some way because it surrounds us, binds us, penetrates us, binds the galaxy together, etc., etc. So, I mean, of course, she's got the Force in her like every being does in the Star Wars galaxy, but can she speak to it? I'm really hoping that, I kind of hoping she does. I think that's kind of cool. So onward and upward. Dueling. We've got Helicopter Blade here. I'm really hoping that we don't see this Inquisitor flying through the sky. They only did it, I believe, in one episode of Rebels. It was super distracting, but I hope that was just a one and done thing when they were on Malachor. And, hopefully we don't see a flying helicopter going here. All right, moving on. Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere August 23rd. We also have heard rumor that the runtime for the Ahsoka show for the first 2 episodes is actually going to be about an hour and 36 minutes approximately. So take that as you will. Who knows what the actual what the reality of that is, but that's the rumor right now. So who else is excited for Ahsoka? I sure as hell am. I can't wait to see the show. Rebels, other than Empire Strikes Back, Rebels is my favorite thing in all of Star Wars canon. It's just great. It hits all the marks, man. It's about family like Star Wars was. It's a family. It's you've got your Jedi in there. You've got your old Jedi, your young Jedi. You've got your pilot. You've got your giant animal mascot right there. Sorry, Chewie, you're more than a mascot to me, but I couldn't think of the other word to use. You've got the droids in there. It's got all of those same heroic types that you see in the original trilogy, and it's great for such a show that's animated and looks silly at times with the animated facial expressions and some of the movements and some of the animation style. Looks silly, but the story is there. The story is dark. It's in 1 minute you've got what looks like a very cartoonish, very just I said it before, silly look with horrific things happening to the characters that are in there. It will rip your heart out. It will make you laugh. It'll make you cry. Watch Rebels, okay? And when you're done watching Rebels, or before you're watching Rebels, tune into the Sarlacc Digest every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, where we break down the newest news, rumors. We don't usually do the gossip thing, so ignore the gossip part. We won't do that. But we also do our 1-minute toy reviews daily on the YouTube channel and our shorts feed. So please subscribe, hit the like button down below. Let us know what you think about this latest trailer for Ahsoka. Are you as excited as we are for the show? Let us know. And you know what? I also want to say a special thank you while I've got y'all here captive. Of course, you could always turn me off. But other than just hitting the bell notification or the bell for all subscribe notifications, show notifications. Can't speak right. I'd like to give a special shout out to our Patreon crew. Without you, we couldn't do this. So AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Cliff, Brandon and Anya Epler, Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Donna Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network. That is our network, by the way. Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor from the All Cure Holy Hour podcast. Gavin Connor is the busiest musician I know. That dude is always making music. So if you can track down Gavin Connor or the Holy Hour podcast, you want to hear some really cool indie rock music, check it out. He just dropped a new song today and he's got an EP coming. It's pretty awesome. So check him out. Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Ryan on the Star Joe's podcast. You have no idea how much we appreciate all of you for what you do for us. And if you want to join, log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest podcast, donate a couple of bucks a month, or just scan that QR code right there and hit the donate button. We would really, really appreciate it. Every dollar goes back into the production of this show. Also, starting this, I want to say this past Wednesday, we did an all Rebels breakdown from the main characters of Rebels, as well as some of the side characters, some of the background characters that might come into play in Ahsoka. At least if we, had our druthers, they would. So check out episode 220 of the Sarlacc Digest where we do that. Next week, we're going to continue on with our march towards the opening of Ahsoka, all leading up to our premiere of the Ahsoka, the breakdown on August 23rd. We'll be doing a full spoiler podcast breakdown of that show. So watch Ahsoka. Tune into us that night as we break it down for all of you. We'll see if if you didn't catch something, maybe we found something. If you caught something, let us know what we missed. That's part of being part of the Sarlacc Digest. Our audience is also part of our crew. So we always bring you into our conversation, and we can't wait to see what you have to say about the new Ahsoka show. So that's all I've got today. I went a little bit longer than expected, of course, because I am me, and that is what I do. So without further ado, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate everything you do. Thanks for watching, and keep it nerdy.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.